and welcome to CBN4's Primetime News. I am your presenter, Sheena Harry. First up in the news, motorists had to be extremely cautious while driving under the cliff in Canefield this morning as dirt and rocks continued to fall following a landslide in the early morning hours. During the rush hour morning commute for many, traffic was impeded by the huge boulders that had fallen. The speculation is that the recent persistent rainfall may have been the cause, although no official word has been put out by the authorities as yet. Members of the World Trade Organization, after having reached a trade agreement on trade facilitation back in 2013, have embarked on a venture to improve customs procedures, transparency, and efficiency, as well as cooperation amongst border regulatory agencies and the private sector. In Dominica's case, a workshop is being held to address the measures of that agreement that have not yet been implemented, which include average release times, electronic payment, risk management, fees and charges, and numerous others. Ben Chatnick, who is a representative from the International Trade Center, says that so far, Dominica's work is commendable and very few measures have not yet been implemented.
So Dominica is doing pretty well. If you look at the number of measures which it says it can implement, as Matan has mentioned, there's only a handful of measures which aren't yet implemented, and those are the ones we're going to focus on today.
According to Chatnick, Dominica has been able to implement some customs reform and new legislation was passed. Chatnick says that the discussions at this workshop are crucial and will help with the move forward.
The aim is to develop bankable project proposals and to seek donor assistance. This is something which will be done locally by the government of Dominica with technical support from the ITC, UNCTAD and others.
He reiterated that these talks will reveal what difficulties the country is having implementing the remaining measures and what support is needed from outside agencies, following which proposals would be made by the agencies to move the progress along. Also making our news headlines, the Minister for Agriculture, Johnson Drygo, is reporting that the agricultural sector has bounced back from the damages caused by the black sigatoka disease. Drygo says production in many crop areas are on the increase, and for bananas, the signs are very encouraging. Following the attack of the black sigatoka disease back in 2014 and 2015, and the long drought that also affected the entire agricultural sector, Drygo said the Ministry of Agriculture went on a rapid drive to assist farmers by contributing fertilizers and plant materials, among other things. And these contributions were made to assist farmers in rehabilitating their fields. Drygo reported that the government and the Ministry of Agriculture are very satisfied with the efforts being made by the farmers. And as Dominica joins in the observance of World Health Day under the theme Beat Diabetes, Dominica has adopted its very own remixed theme, which is Stay Super, Beat Diabetes with Fit and Healthy Children. Minister for Health, Dr. Kenneth Daru, has raised concerns over overweight and obese children here in Dominica. And Daru stated that obesity among our children and adolescent population is increasing at an alarming rate. Data indicates the prevalence of overweight and obese children from 0 to 59 months, an increase from 9% in 2000 to 12% in 2009, Daru revealed. The health minister noted that it can be argued that the rise in this data among our children is directly related to the lack of nutrients given to them, coupled with the lack of physical activities. According to Daru, serious actions are required to enable a healthy school environment to support healthy eating and physical activity. He added that special emphasis should be placed on the school curriculum in achieving this job. World Health Day is a global health awareness day celebrated every year on the 7th of April under the sponsorship of the World Health Organization. Some small business owners are the benefactors of a grant from a local non-profit organization with the aim of helping to revitalize small businesses that were affected by Tropical Storm Erica. Bernard Bonteef, who is Deputy Chairperson for the Dominica Youth Business Trust, says that the Business Trust is very pleased to be able to make this contribution.
We are very fortunate as an entity to be able to provide support, continued support to our young people, that they can continue in small business, especially after Erica, to know that things can still continue to roll with the Dominica Youth Business Trust.
Bonteef stated that the youth of Dominica are not stagnant, so the DYBT is not stagnant. Coordinator of the DYBT, Kerry and Remy, says that the organization received funds from the United States Agency for International Development, although the funding they had originally procured from the entity had ended.
Following the storm, DYBT initiated contact with entrepreneurs to be apprised of the personal well-being and their businesses. As a result, 7 of DYBT entrepreneurs will receive grants to assist their business recuperate from the effects of Erica.
She stated that it is important to recognize and show appreciation for local entrepreneurs.
The awardees of these grants are Grayson John Davis, Pepper Sauce Manufacturing; Fari Winston Kulibistri, Livestock Rearing; Dion Francis Corona, Seedling and Vegetable Production; Jackson Ali, Petit Soufriere Entertainment; Shema Gregoire, Kenfield Industrial Site, Soap Production; Bernice Morillo, Petit Soufriere Fishing; Derrickson and Chris Roy Fountain, Bacatel Piggery.
According to Remy, the DYBT empathizes with them and pledges continued support to the rehabilitation efforts. "120 households in Dominica are the recipients of a gracious gift from the Ross University School of Medicine. The school has accumulated some much-needed necessities for these homes and donated them to a very appreciative bunch. Rachel Roll, Human Resource Consultant with the university, says that these are just examples of Ross's commitment to Dominica and Dominicans.
Today, the university once again demonstrates its commitment to Dominica by presenting these care relief packages, which includes bath towels, sheet sets, kitchen utensils, Tupperware, kitchen towels and toiletries, which we hope will go a very long way in helping alleviate the plight of individuals who are affected.
And Roll is hoping that these packages will prove that the university is extremely concerned about the well-being of Dominicans. The Director of Clinical and Community Affairs, Rosanna Emanuel, says that Ross is more than just a medical university, but it is an institution that is community-oriented.
While the university can't prevent such disasters, we can help alleviate the distress that individuals endure.
Food, clothing, and other necessities were donated last year, as well as a monetary donation of $100,000 to the Red Cross to aid in relief efforts. And up next in the news, CBN4's Shanna Esprit was on the streets today, getting some feedback on a recent development out on the West Coast. Shanna, tell us more.
CBN4's Outside News team is currently in the community of St. Joseph, where the Village Council held its 21st inaugural meeting. Now, in that meeting, the Prime Minister committed to donate over $400,000 to the community of St. Joseph. That money will go towards building of washroom facilities. This bridge here, right behind me, it will also go towards its reconstruction and also to farmers in that community. And Sheena, the Prime Minister also stated that by the end of next week, the people from the community of St. Joseph will receive a check of about $200,000 to effect washrooms for the people of that community. At that meeting, he also committed to an initial check of $15,000 to go towards the purchase of fertilizers for distribution to the farmers group in St. Joseph. In respect to the footbridge, the Prime Minister said this issue has been a concern for the people within the community, and over $100,000 will be allocated for the construction of that bridge. The Prime Minister also requested that the Village Council effect the contract on behalf of the government. Let's listen to a few views from the people of the community of St. Joseph.
I think it's a very good development for St. Joseph. It shows that the government of Dominica cares for St. Joseph. It shows that there is potential in even bringing back the bridge in St. Joseph and, things happening in St. Joseph. So I think I'm very impressed that the government is such, determined.
Well, it's a while we've been waiting, but good things come to those who wait. Okay. So I appreciate it is coming right now.
So do you think that the footpath would make things easier for you to commute?
Well, seeing that is the footpath we could afford for the time, I would appreciate it. Okay. But in that modern time, if we could have at least a transport bridge, at least, not to say, well, exactly using it as, but through the people living on the other side, somebody could fall sick, or you have people coming from foreign, they would want to bring their barriers or their things across, so that would be better, but better than nothing. I love it still.
And that was Shanna Esprit with that report. Also in our news, as stakeholders in the agriculture sector continue their training in value chain analysis, they are called upon to understand their role in the industry to ensure consumer satisfaction. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Harold Geese, says that Dominica's economic stability is partially dependent on the success of the agriculture industry.
As an agriculture-based country, it is of extremely importance for our farmers, extension officers, business people, persons engaged in agriculture in one way or another, to understand where they fit in the scheme of things in terms as it relates to production and consumer satisfaction.
Geest went on to describe value chain as more than just a string of individual elements loosely linked together.
Value chain, in my opinion, really, instead of probably making it like a chain, probably out of necessity we need to do that, I prefer to see it as a circle, with the consumer in the middle of this circle, making demands on all the rest of the inputs that is required to produce what the consumer wants.
And Geest says that because the consumer is central to the success of a product, all stakeholders need to examine the factors that affect their product from the farm gate to the table. The Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation has embarked on a venture to reduce the global footprint of the island. The No Plastic Day initiative is a joint effort between the corporation and various establishments in the city of Roseau. Hannah Pierre, representative of Solid Waste, says the program is aimed at drawing attention to the effects of plastic bags on the environment and to the 3 R's.
The Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, in collaboration with the supermarkets in the city, came together to launch its first No Plastic Day. This program will seek to create an awareness on the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, and gives a practical appreciation on the improvement of the quality of waste management in Dominica.
According to research, it is estimated that most people only use a plastic bag for an average of 20 minutes, but after dumping, that bag takes hundreds of years to deteriorate. Solid Waste says the company has several goals in mind, including the protection of the marine life here in Dominica, maintaining Dominica's reputation as the Nature Isle, and reducing health hazards. Jenna Jacobs, who is Public Relations Officer for Solid Waste, says that in an attempt to get people involved, the corporation has engaged the assistance of the young people.
We are working with the schools, and a number of schools are on board with us, and this Saturday from 10 o'clock we'll have a number of schools being outside of Whitchurch, Astafan, Robinson's, Shillingford. So they will be there demonstrating to us, demonstrating to the shoppers what they should do instead of using a plastic bag, what alternative bag that they should use.
And the idea is to change the mindset of Dominicans with regards to plastic pollution. And 8 amputees are now better equipped to go through their daily tasks with the assistance of prosthetic limbs. This donation was made possible through a partnership between the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities and the Keep Walking Association, which is a French-based organization. The prostheses were presented to the individuals yesterday, and it was done at the DAPD's office in Goodwill by Mark Helly.
So this is our second time in Dominica for our project to build legs for Dominican people with amputation. So the first time was the first experience, but short experience, because we have as project to make 4 legs, but at the final we made 5 legs, and we maintain 2 other legs from US for 2 other people. But so the first time was a success, so it was good to keep on going this way. So for the second time we came with 2 prostheses from France, 2 other prostheses. Benoit, the president of Keep Walking Association, and we always have Mr. Winston for 2 sessions now with us in the workshop.
Executive member of the DADP, Irma Raymond Joseph, expressed her gratitude to the association on behalf of all the amputees.
On behalf of all the beneficiaries, we want to thank Keep Walking Association to help us to keep walking. Yes. And Mark is also an amputee. Yes. Mark is also an amputee. We have Mr. Benoit there, who is the president of the Keep Walking Association. For many of us, it has been many years that we have been using our crutches, our walkers, and I personally, I can say thank God.
Joseph expressed that she has been an amputee for 20 years and said from now till death, she will have both legs. She added that it would have been difficult individually to be able to afford the prosthetics.
When each and every one of us look at the cost of receiving a prosthetic leg, it is more than an arm and a leg for us. So with the aid of the Almighty and Keep Walking Association, DAPD, and all the other partners, we say thank you. Thank you.
And let's take a look at some of the beneficiaries with their new leg.
We have Albert Clark there. Albert. We have. Show your leg. Take your leg and put it there. No. So we have Albert. I think it's a success. He's really happy. After we have Mr. Luke Fabian. Thank you, Fabian. And after.
And that takes us to the end of the Primetime News package here on CBN4. As always, if you've missed any of our stories, you can catch up by logging on to cbn4.com or even our Facebook page. And if there's ever a story you'd like us to cover, you may send us an email cbn4news@gmail.com. In the meantime, until our next broadcast, and on behalf of our entire news team, thank you for watching.